So today we're going to go over on how to do a rotation and balance on this 04 Honda Accord. But some of the first things you want to know is how to properly lift the vehicle and how to see if the vehicle has TPMS or regular valves. If you want to come here, on this vehicle, it does not have TPMS. It has the rubber valves. Some vehicles will have a TPMS sensor light on the tires so you can read the pressure. Some other things you want to look for are the specific precautions on what air pressure to put in these tires. It will be located either here on this placard on the inside of the door, or it would be inside the owner's manual.
Oh.
Inside the car. Okay guys, so now we're going to show you how to properly lift this vehicle. You're using your arms here and find the right jack point. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to push the arms in, and you're going to come and you're going to find this little piece of metal, which is the jack point, and make sure that this is lined up perfectly square on it. You're going to want to do that on the front and back of the vehicle to make sure that it's secure and good to go. Okay guys, now that we got these jack points in the right position, now we're going to come up and we're going to lift this vehicle up. And we're going to get it just to touch tight so you're not hurting your back and making sure that you can safely take off these tires. Okay guys, so now that we got this car up in here, we're going to safely take off these lug nuts. The first two things you're going to want is your air gun. You're going to want your 19mm socket. The air gun has two levers, forward and reverse, to put on and take off. You want to have it in the reverse position. You're going to come over to the wheel, put it on. You're going to slowly want to back the lug nut off. Give it a couple of squeezes. Take them off very slowly, making sure that you don't strip or ruin the stud. That's how you safely take off the wheel off the car. Okay guys, so now we got our tire off the car. Now we're going to come over here to our changer. First thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to remove that valve core by taking your valve core remover and just taking this valve core out. So as the air's letting out, make sure before you use your tool, the air's completely gone, and you make sure you keep your valve straight up and down from the machine so you do not mess it up or break the TPMS if it has the TPMS valve in here. So what you're going to want to do is push down, it's going to back it up, pull up, you're going to bring it forward, just bring it forward, you're going to push it down, it's get into the drop zone. You're going to then do that to the back side of it, keeping the valve again completely up and straight and down. You're going to want to pop the back side. You're going to want to spin the tire and make sure that that thing is fully popped in there. Then you're going to come up here. So you've got two pedals on here. One's for your clamp, one's to rotate. For this, you're going to push up, you're going to clamp it in there, and the other one's going to rotate it. So you're going to push down, make sure that it's safe. You're going to use your duck head right here. Make sure it's flush on the wheel. You're going to lock that into place. Take your bar. You're just going to lift it over and spin it. Sometimes with different tires, you gotta have to get some extra leverage to get it to come off. Just put the bar underneath there, lift up. You're gonna grab that second back bead and just lift it right back over the same way you did the first one. And that's how you dismount a tire.
Alright.
That's a long ass video right there.
No,
just how to dismount it. Okay guys, so now we got the tire safely dismounted. Now we're gonna mount it up. The first thing you want to do is take your valve core and your valve core remover tool. And you just want to put the valve right back into the tire. Make sure it's nice and secure. So once that is, you can come back to your tire. Put it on up here. There are two types of things. There's a spray that you can spray onto the bead to help it sit, or you can use the paste. So what you want to do is just grab some, put it onto the tire, like so. And to keep in mind, if it has a TPMS valve, you would want to have the T-pin that's on this side. So you bring your duck head back in. Make sure it's on the wheel nice and secure. Make sure the back bead is on top. You just want to follow it all the way around. Tire falls right on. And again, this doesn't have one, but the T-pin mess out. Make sure it stays on this side. And you just want to put pressure to get that other one to drop right back over and just follow it all the way around. When you do that, unlock your duck head. Come over here. There's a pedal that activates for your air. You just push that and air comes out. So you're going to hook it up. So with this tire, it's recommended to put 32 pounds in. So right here is your gauge, and you're just going to want to fill the tire up to 32. This might take a couple minutes to do. Okay guys, so now that we've got the tire mounted, another thing that I want to cover when mounting a tire is to make sure that you don't keep your fingers in this area by the lip and the bead of the wheel. Your fingers can get caught in there, and sometimes they can break from the pressure. But other than that, we're going to continue on and we're going to balance our tire here. So what you're going to want to do is make sure you have your proper tool, which is your cone, and make sure it fits perfectly inside the center of the wheel, making sure it doesn't really move loosely. This one's nice and tight in there, so that is the proper one. We're going to slide onto the pin wheel. What you're going to do is pick the tire up, slide it right onto there. You're going to take your wing nut and your cup, apply it onto this handle. Make sure that this is really tight, so that the wheel does not go anywhere. And then what you're going to do is measure the wheel. So you're going to take your arm, bring it onto the inside of this lip. You're going to hear a beep once it gets it. So there's the one measurement. And then you're going to come here, you're going to take your measuring tool, and you're going to put it on the inside lip and the outside lip of the wheel. As you can see, it says 7. So what you're going to do is, you're going to come, you're going to hit 7, 0. And that is how you enter into the computer. You're just going to close this hood now. It's going to start doing its spinning. You're going to want to watch and see if the wheel is moving. And then, so now this is what it's asking. Your inboard is going to be the inside lip. The outboard is going to be the outside. So right now it's asking for 150 on the inside. So you're going to find the proper weights for this. Is going to be a steel. So you want to find a steel weight that is 150. So here's your steel weight. I'm going to need my hammer for my assistant right here. Thank you. What you're going to want to do is come here, and you're going to want to put it right over this line, and that weight is no good. This thing is so disorganized, guys.
I'll take these off.
Find the proper weight. You're going to come, there's a line right here. You're going to want to put that first weight right above that line. Give it a good smack, and then you're going to hit next. The tire is going to spin to that next position. You're going to want to put the 175 line. So you're going to grab your 75. And your 1 ounce weight. Same purpose here. You're going to put it right on there. Just like so. Now you're going to close that hood again. And as I see, this wheel is bent. You can see a little bit of movement. So now it's asking for that 25. So when it comes to this, what you're going to want to do is, you're going to want to give it a turn. Just take that weight off, and you're just going to want to move it over just a little bit. And then close that hood again. But this rim is bent because it has a wobble in it. But now that it's zeroed out, you're all good to go, and you can bolt it up onto the car. And I'll show you that in the next step. Okay guys, so now that we got the tire mounted, balanced, now we're just going to show you the right procedure on bolting this tire up. What you're going to do is you're going to pick it back up, make sure it's centered and the lug holes line up with the studs. And what you're going to want to do is take your bolts and you're just going to want to hand tighten them, make sure that there's nothing on there, because you don't want to cross thread the stud or the bolt. Make sure all of them go on really nice and smooth, so that this causes no problem. Okay guys, now for my tool, I'm using a little impact gun with the 19mm socket on there. And all you're going to want to do is dip these on in a star pattern. And make sure that they're all secure. And once that's done, you successfully bolted up your tire. Okay guys, so now we got our tires bolted back up onto the vehicle. Now we're going to torquing the vehicle, but first we got to lower this vehicle back to the floor. So how you would do that is, you got our buttons and our levers. So what you're going to do is you're going to raise it up. You're going to hear that click. You're going to come over here and grab your arm. You're going to unlock it. You're going to come here. You're just going to press this and it's going to lower it. Vehicle coming down. Once the vehicle hits the ground all the way, you can just release. Now the vehicle is on the ground, so you can properly torque the lug nut to the right torque. Okay guys, now that we got our tires mounted up onto this vehicle and it's now lowered, we're going to take our torque wrench and our 19mm socket again. And on this vehicle, you're going to want to set the torque. So you're going to unloosen it. You're just going to bring it down. Make sure it's set at 80 for this vehicle, which this is, and then you're just going to lock this back into place. Then you're going to come over to your wheel. And you're going to want to start with an X pattern, like you bolted it up with, and just make sure you hear that little click. Once you hear that click, you know that the lug nuts are secure on there. And that's how you do that. And you can also do a circle to just ensure that you didn't miss any. But that one's all tight, so now we're going to come back up to the front one and do the same exact thing. Start with that star pattern.
Alright, yeah, you can tell the tires are
Make sure that you hear that click every time. And make sure that the lug nut is not free spinning because it won't tighten. But in this case, right now all of them are clicking in. And then just go back and do that circle and make sure you got all of them. So now we got them all torqued, everything is done. Now we've properly dismounted, mounted, and rotated tires here on this car. Now you're free to go. There's 3 different types of rotation. There's front to back, modified, and your X. Depending on the vehicle or the customer, they can choose from those 3 types of rotations, and we would accommodate what they would want to do for their vehicle.